Hello and welcome to video number 5 of this series, how to make POS in Microsoft Access. And today I'm going to demonstrate by far my most favorite element of any application or software, which is the user interface. So I'm going to create some forms today. In previous videos I have created tables, and we have created the relationships among these tables as well. So basically the database or the backend element is already done. If you haven't watched the first 4 videos, I would strongly recommend you to go ahead and do that. The links for those videos are in the description below. Now, before I move ahead and start creating forms, I would like to do 2 things. First, if you're watching on YouTube, then subscribe to my channel. I'm sure you will get some benefit out of this channel. And the second, if you're watching on Facebook, then I would recommend you or ask you to kindly like our Facebook page, and also come to our YouTube channel as well to find out more videos. Second thing I would like to talk about is how about going to outgoapparels.com. So you can see the website, www.outgoapparels.com. The link for this website is also in the description below. Very nice stuff you will find here. You want to buy t-shirts, polo shirts, hoodies, jackets, accessories, a lot of good things. And the best thing about this website is that they will give you on very economical prices as well. So go ahead, click on the link in the description below, or type in your web address outgoapparels.com and buy some stuff. That would be great. Thank you very much for that. Right, let's go back into the video. So, and user interface is the most important element, and the reason why it is most important, well, everything is important in application or software, but the user interface is important because your user will interact with it, right? So you as a developer would have to think of different ways to automate things and also to make simple, and simplicity is the best policy according to me. You make things simple for the users and they would love your product, and simplicity is the beauty. That is it. So make your user interface as simple as possible. Do not make it complicated, or do not make people to jump from one screen to another screen, another screen to another screen. There are applications or software I have seen. They would move you from one screen to another screen for every single action, and that's not really a user friendly interface. So you have to think about user when you are designing the user interface, and that's what we are going to do when we are designing this POS application's user interface, right? So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to create forms, and those forms will be for each table, because of course for each table there's data entry is required, and so therefore the form is required. So whenever data entry is required, we have to make some sort of form for users, so they can enter the data into the application and it can be stored in the database, right? So first, to create forms, so click on create button, and then from this menu bar you can go to the forms area, and if you will notice, there are a lot of options are given when it comes to forms. Different forms, horizontal tabs, vertical tabs. These are navigation type of forms, very good type of forms, but not really useful in our case today. Multiple item data sheet, split, and modal dialog, again very useful forms, but not really useful in our case scenario. What I would like to do is I would like to create form from the ground up. So we have 100% control of what we would like to do with our application. So for that, we'll click on form design, and it will give us the blank form. Now, before I do anything on the form, what I would like to do, and I would like to do these steps for every single form, and that is, I call it housekeeping. Now, housekeeping means if I go to the form view here, you will see there is this bar. It is called record selector. There is this navigation bars with the navigation buttons. These are not really required in the type of form that we are creating. These are useful for in some scenarios, some situations, but not really required in our case scenario. So if I'll go to right click design view, and let's go to the and to get rid of these, to get rid of this and navigation bar, and also I want to make my form to pop up, right? I want to make them pop up. When user will click, a pop-up window will open, a pop-up form will open. That's what I want. So to do all of this, whatever I'm saying, we have to go to the property sheet. Now the property sheet is basically right click here, design view, and you click here, and there are two different ways. So right click here, you can go to the properties. This is one way, or you can select the form from the corner and click on design and click on property sheet. So two different ways, whatever is useful for you, whatever is easiest for you. So you can go to the property sheet, but most important thing is go to the property sheet. And now we are in the property sheet. Now this property sheet is for the form. You can see here selection type is form. Sometimes there will be objects such as text box or labels or buttons, etc. So when you select each object, that will show here as well. At the moment it is form selected, and that's what we wanted. And to get rid of the record selector and the navigation, we'll go to the format tab, and in here we will first of all we'll make it auto center yes. This means whenever the user will open this form, the form will auto centered according to the screen size. It will look at the layout of the screen and screen size, and then it will open the form in the center, so it will look much better and easier pleasing to the eyes as well. Then what I would like to do is a record selector. You can hear record selector we can turn off, and navigation buttons we can also turn off, right? And the third thing I mentioned, I would like to make this form as a pop-up form, and to do that we will go to the other tab, and you can see here pop-up and turn it on. And modal, this is also very useful, although you have to look at the case scenario, you have to look at what you want user to do, and then accordingly you make sure to turn it off or on. Modal means if the form is open, then user have to close that form in order to proceed with something else. And most often we need this kind of functionality. We want user to input something or do something in one screen, and then they can proceed to the next step. And for that we have to turn on modal, right? Another thing I would like to do now, these things, the sequence that you are looking at, this sequence I came up with, and I am personally comfortable with this sequence because this makes things easy for me. This makes me more efficient when I'm developing the application, and so that's why I'm following these steps. So this is more suitable for me. It might not be suitable for you as a different person, so everyone has their own choices. And what I would like to do as well is this cycle. If you'll see, it's mentioned here all records. Now I want to do it as a current record. Why, you would ask so? Well, when down the line we will create this form and we will create the data, and sometime user will hit enter or tab button on the keyboard, and then the record will move to the next record. automatically, because it is going to cycle all the records in the table. So for example, we are going to, for example, this form is for the categories table, right? So if this table has 5 lines, then the moment you hit enter or tab, it will go to the next record in the categories table. And most often we don't want that to happen. We want to stick with that particular record which is already opened, right? So for that, you have to make sure cycle, it should be current record. So we want to see only, and we want to stay with only the current record which is displayed on the form. Okay, now let's right click here and let's go to the form view. There you go. Now our record selector is gone, our navigation button is gone, and our form is pop up. Now next thing I would like to do is, first of all, this form 1, this is the caption of the form, and I would like to change it to much more user friendly, like categories, so user can look at and see what form it is. And also I would like to get rid of this gray bar. Now this gray bar is because our what do you call this, navigation bar, our navigation bar is turned on. So the moment I turn it off, this gray line will go away as well. Now navigation is important. I mean, horizontal navigation, vertical navigation is important, but not in all types of forms. Now there are different types of forms as well. If I'll go to the format and I'll show you default view, it's here is a single view, a single form. Now if I'll click here, drop down, you will see continuous form, datasheet, and split form. So in if you are making continuous form or datasheet or split form, then you would need the horizontal and vertical scroll bars. We don't need scroll bars in the single form because it's a single form presenting the single line item. So we don't want that to happen. So scroll bars at the moment it's both. We will turn it off, neither. Caption, we will change it to, so we are making this form for the categories. Okay, so categories, enter. Now let's save this as well. So categories, F stands for form, right? If I'll create queries, it will end with Q. If I'll create report, it will end with R. So it makes things easier, especially when you're doing programming, when you're doing VB code and you want to refer to some form or report or query. So that will make things easier. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it. And now if I'll go to, and now for example here caption is changed because I've changed it to categories F. So let's get rid of F here, but the actual name of the form will remain same, categories F. Okay, so if I'll go to the form view now it is much more cleaner as well. So categories, navigation, the scroll bars gray line is also gone. Now this form is ready to be linked with the data, and I'll right click here, design view, and I will right click again, and let's get the form header and footer because I would like to have a header as well. So let's make it smaller. The reason I'm making it smaller is because it has only 3 fields, right? So category ID, category, and a attachment. That's it. So you have to look at how many fields are in one table for which you are making form, and then accordingly you decide the size of the form. It should look better. Now when we are designing this, the user interface, you make sure that your design aesthetic, your design language, your design pattern, whatever you want to call it, it should remain same for every single form that you are going to create. So then it will look better. I've seen some applications, people would make one screen's background color blue, another screen's background color red, another screen's background color yellow, or something else. So that doesn't look good. That doesn't look professional. you decide one color, or you ask the customer for whom you are creating the application, and you for according to their requirement, you keep that color consistency in all the forms. Now I'm not only talking about colors, I'm talking about fonts, I'm talking about the text box styles, I'm talking about the drop down menus. Keep it same in all the forms, no matter what you are creating, and that's very important to do. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is let's assign a data. Right now it is this form is not linked with any database, with any table. So to link this form, we'll go to the property sheet of the form, and we'll go to the data tab, and in data tab you have record source. Under record source you can choose tables, whatever table you want to assign, or you can create query as well. So if, for example, there are three different tables, you want to take data from three different tables and you want to present it on one form, then you will make a query. To make a query within the form, and not a standalone query but within the form, then you will record source, you click on dot 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 this eclipse, and you will be here in the query designer. But in this case we are not looking for query. What we are looking for is to simply assign a categories table to this form. Now this form is linked, hooked up to the categories table. Now let's bring the fields, whatever fields, three fields in this categories table, into this form so we can design them further. So we'll go to the design button and we'll click on add existing fields. Okay, and in here we'll get these fields one by one. You can do it all together as well. I'll show you in another form. Okay, let's make it a little bit little organizing of the fields so it looks better. Let's make it what I would like to do is make a stack, so it's kind of same size for the text box and labels, and make it black. And I'll go to design. What I would like to do is keep the height as 0.3. No, 0.3 is less. Let's make 0.6. Yep. And in here top margin 0.05. yeah, that would be better. So let's increase the size of let's keep category ID same, but category we will increase the size. Similarly here we will change the color, make font color to black, make it bold. All the labels should be bold, and we'll give a space here, column. Okay, so it looks professional. So let's remove the layout. Okay, and let's take this picture, so we'll make it bigger. So this is the category picture. So for example, you have basically this is the this application is for the, what do you call this, grocery stores. So grocery store will have different categories as well. So for example, household items, so you can put a picture of household items. Why do you need picture? Because when you are designing a menu for user, you can show the picture instead of just text. That will look much better. So increase the size of the picture. All right, and what I would like to do is this. This design is better. Okay, category ID. All right, I'm quiet because I'm focusing on and I'm thinking at the same time what I would like to do with this. Let's make it a little smaller, don't need this bigger. Okay, perhaps, yeah, make it smaller this form as well. Here we go. Now if I'll go to the form view, let's see how it looks like. Looks good, but can be better. Another thing I would like to do, all the fields with the category, with the IDs, all the primary keys, I would like to keep them as non-editable. At the moment it is editable, right? You can click here, the cursor is clicking. So I would like to make them non-editable. The next thing I would like to do is remove this the outline of the text boxes, and rather make a line underneath of these text boxes, so it looks much better. So let's go ahead and do that. So first I would like to go to data and enabled no, locked yes. Okay, and this as well we will select, and now we'll go to the format tab, shape outline, and we'll make it transparent. Now this is okay. Now if I will go to the form view, well, looks better but not really good. I don't like it because it's a blank, so user doesn't know where to type. Although user can see the cursor, but it's difficult for user to point out. So what we can do, well, simple. What we can do is right click here, and I would like to keep this design aesthetic in all the forms, right? And here we go. Now user can see what are the fields where user can type. We can make it more nicer, and that is by having a line underneath of each of these text boxes. Now everyone has preference. I could simply just take the text boxes and resize them, put it here and there, and that is it. Job will be done. User will be still be able to enter the data, and data will be still able to stored, but it will not look professional. That's my point of view, right? It is my preference. I would like to see, when you're doing things, you should do in a way that it looks much better and much pleasing to the eyes, and it should be functional as well at the same time. And that's the logic I go always with. It should be simpler, and it should be functional, and it should look pleasing to the eyes. That's also very important. So right click here, we'll go to the form view. Now looks much better with the underneath lines as well. Okay, now another thing I would like to do is to change this background color of the header, make it a little bit nicer. My preference is the blue color. I like blue colors, so let's go to the more color option here. Standard, which blue should we choose? No, this light blue color would be okay. Yeah, this would be fine. Yeah, anyway, again, this is my preference. Your preference could be something else, or it's whatever is the customer requirement. So for example, if you are developing this application for a customer would have their own color requirements, so color schemes. So you follow that, whatever the color scheme customer is giving you. Okay, now it looks a bit better according to me. Let's go ahead and make a button here as well. Save button. We'll take a picture, this picture box, and okay, yeah, that's okay. All right, let's go to design, and we'll take button. We'll click here, cancel it. Let's change the font, the text in it. The caption, we will change it to save data, right? Or simply save. It's your choice. We'll go to the format. We'll change the shape. We'll change the style. Okay, and I'll go to the format here. Let's have a picture of save button as well, but before that, let's increase the size of this button, the height of this button. So height at the moment 0.499. Let's make it 0.6. How about that? or 0.8. Nah, that will be too much. 0.7, kind of appropriate, I think. Let's make it width a little bit smaller. Yeah, kind of appropriate. Anyway, we'll see. If it look bad, then we will change it. Let's have a icon along with the save data text, right? Icon looks better along with the caption. So we'll go to the picture here and dot dot dot, and I'll press S on my keyboard, save, click OK. Oops, now I want icon and caption both. So we'll here a picture alignment arrangement, and in here we'll see journal, and I would like to give a little bit of space. Now this bold text looks bad. Let's make it lighter. All right. One more important thing, do not forget this, otherwise coding will be different. So we have to change the name. At the moment the button is selected, we can see that here, but the name of button is the command 13, and that's not user friendly name. So we'll change it to btn save. Okay, right click here, save it, form view. There we go. There we go. We've got a button, we have got fields, we have got the picture attachment, and this form is almost ready. What I would like to do is shrink the size of header as well. It looks a little odd to me. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that is it. One form is created. Now, why it took so much time to create one small form? Well, if I would have to create this form without recording video, I would have created within 4 to 5 minutes guaranteed. But because I'm explaining, and this explanation for those who have just started learning about Microsoft Access, or who have just started creating the user interface on Microsoft Access, so for them this information I think is very, very important. So that's why it took a little bit longer to create one small form. Now let's go ahead and create another form, which is the employees form, and then the rest of the forms I will create offline perhaps, but I'll keep some forms which will create, which I'll share with you, because the design static will remain same, design language will remain same in all the forms. But sure, whatever form I think would be suitable for you to watch, or may have different kind of setup, that form I will demonstrate on the video. For example, order form, order lines, I will show you on the video. Payroll form I'll show you on the video, but others I would create. And login form I'll show you on video. Dashboard I'll show you on video. There's one more form, dynamic form, we will create that too I will show you on video. So whatever form I think would be necessary for you to watch, I would demonstrate that part onto the video. But other forms such as expenses form, invoice form, or supplier form, or product form, that I will create offline, so you don't have to watch me sitting for hours and hours to create those forms. Because the steps that I have taken to create categories form, I will take the exact same steps to create any other form, right? So I'll show you 4 to 5 different other forms. For example, I'll show you the well, today I'm going to create in this video employees form, that I'll show you. I'll show you order and order lines form when we are creating. I'll show you the what else, payroll perhaps, yeah, I'll show you that as well. And also I'll show you login, dashboard, and dynamic forms. So these forms I'll show you on the video, rest offline. All right, let's go ahead and create another form, employees, very quickly. So this I will go ahead and create in a form in a way that I'm not even recording video. So that's how I will create. So please follow me. If you think that I'm going a little faster, follow the explanation that I've done for the categories form. Okay, and the best way to keep the same static, same design pattern, what I would like to do always is copy the form, make things easier for me. If you're learning, do not copy, right? If you're learning, do not copy, just create form from the scratch. I'm not learning, so I'm just copy and pasting, so make things easy for me. Let's create form for employees. Employees F. Okay, right click on employees F. We'll go here, remove this, and let's link this form with the employees table. Now you see this green color kind of triangles in the text boxes. This is telling a designer, hey, I can't locate category ID in employees table. I can't locate category field in employees table. And for sure, because we don't have category ID and category in employees table. So what we are going to do, we are going to select this text box and we're going to go to the property sheet and data, and in here we are going to change it with employee ID. We'll copy that, we'll change the name here as well, make sure to do that, otherwise you will get error. And here also we will change it to employee ID. All right, let's come here, and category we will replace it with employee name. Copy this, and in other emp name, and in here as well employee name. All right, let's move this in here. Okay, let's increase the size of it because we have enough fields in these forms. So the next thing I would like to do is to see how many fields are there. So these two we have already entered: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So total 17. 2 we have already got. So let's copy this, let's paste it. We will change the names and everything later, the way we did it for these two fields. Well, this is the way I do things because it makes things kind of easier for us to make and to proceed, and we don't have to do all the cosmetics and design static changes again and again for each and every form. Just simply copy and paste fields and change their links, database links. That is it. So I'm going to paste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's copy and paste. See how God bless the person who make copy and paste. All right, one more I think we need. There we go. Cool. Okay, now let's go and one by one change the, go to the design, property sheet, we'll change the data, and we'll change this to father name. Remember, always change the other here as well and here as well. Okay, very important. Go to the data again, CNIC. Well, this is the national identity card number. If you have other kind of IDs, then you can change with that. This we've got mobile. Go here and mobile number. This we have got data, home number. So very important, if mobile number is not working, at least an employer can contact an employee on a landline number. So it's always good to have this information. Address. We probably need to make this text box a little wider. We'll do that later. Let's first yeah, we have done that. After address we have designation. Okay, and let's change it here as well. After designation we have got basic salary. Let's change it here as well. Let's keep a space. What happened? After basic salary we have allowances. I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but I hope I'm not, because I'm showing you the best way to create, best way according to me. Okay, not in the best in the world, but best according to me and what suits me. That's what I'm showing you, and how I do it, that's what I'm showing you. If you have better process of creating forms or making things easy for developer as well, please do let me know in the comments below. That would be really helpful for me, so I can learn some different techniques perhaps, and I can apply those when I'm creating the application. Okay, after user ID, what we have our password. These things are important. So to give access to user, you have to create username and password if you're creating an application for a work environment which is for multiple people. Start date. Okay, all right, this would not have the date picker. Let's see if it has the date picker. Yeah, it has the date picker already. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and select the next field, end date, and we'll give a little bit space here as well. After end date we have status here also, and the last field we have status date. Let's change it here as well. All right, cool. Now we have linked every single text box with all the data in our database. Now next is rearranging some of these. Now employee ID, employee name, father name, CNIC, mobile, home, address. This falls under general information about employee, right? So what I would like to do generally is, perhaps let's make it wider. Let's take these. How about this? Or will it look odd? Let's see. Oh, it doesn't. Looks okay to me. All right, let's select all of these and layout, stack them. Ooh, no. Stacking is not a good idea. Okay. All right, so we need to make a border here which shows that it's a general detail about the employee. Well, I might change my mind and bring them down here again. Let's see. So let's remove the designation from here as well. Okay, we'll go to the design and we'll take this option group and we'll draw it here. cancel it, and we'll type here general information. Okay, select both of these. All right, cool. Let's margins, we have to be very careful when we are giving margins. We have to give equal margins, and let's increase the size of this address. Address could be long, that's why. All right, now let's make another group, and let's make it full black, the font color, and make it bold so it looks better, one notch down. And let's so what should we do? Should we make this form horizontal or vertical? Let's make it horizontal. Some computer screen might be small vertically, so it might not look good on them, so we'll make it horizontal. Okay, let's bring designation here. Select all of these, bring them down. Let's get the designation aligned with it. Okay, and alignment has to be correct. All right, now status and status date, let's bring them here. All right, cool. Let's copy this box and make a copy and paste it here. And here let's type organizational information. Okay, select these, bring them here, align them. All right, these two goes a little bit up, these two also goes up. And these two also should be aligned to this. Okay, now we have got end date, so let's bring why we have this area as well, so let's fill it up. Allowances, total salary. So these things takes a little bit time, okay? And for some form these things become trickier as well, because you have to think about the user, how user will look at this form, and how you are going to make things easier for user. Remember, this is what I said at the start of the video, and the more pleasing to eyes and simple you will make your user, whoever will use the application which you have developed, they will love you for that. There you go. Now let's reduce this size. Let's bring them, how about bringing them within the box, right? They are two outside. Let's increase the size here. Let's select both of these, and here we go. Okay, let's decrease the height from here as well. Save data, we'll bring it here, right click save, and we'll change the caption. Caption is still categories, we'll say it's employees information. Right click, form view, there you go. Alright, so we have adjusted our fields wherever we wanted it to be. Now few more things we have to look at. The first thing we have to look at is the tab control, tab order. So this is very important. So tab order mean if the tab order should be correct. If user will press on tab on the keyboard, then right now the cursor is here at employee name, then it should move to father name, then it should move to CNIC, mobile, and this is how it should go, right? And that's what we are going to do. So let's see what is the tab order. This is correct. Now after father name, it directly came to mobile number, then address, then it goes to basic salary. So tab order is incorrect, so we have to correct it. Let's go to the design view, let's go to the design and tab order, and here we'll see the name of all the fields. So after employee name, father name, after father name, CNIC number, CNIC, let's bring it here, then mobile number, then home number. So where is home number? Here you go. Then address, after address, designation, after designation, basic salary, allowance, after basic salary, allowance, then salary, then user ID, then password, then start date, then end date, and that is it. Okay, rest we don't need to do. And the status date and status and employee ID, because these are non-editable. So enabled no, logged yes. Let's make their background color in a way that user should not click here. So for them, these are non-editable fields. So let's go to the form view again, and now if I'll click on tab, perfect. Now the tabs are perfect. Okay, cool. Here I'll copy this and I'll make another button here. Now this button will represent mark inactive. So if the employee has resigned or has left the organization, it's important to mark it as inactive, mark that employee as inactive. So it should not show up in the login information, that employee should not have login access to the database. So it's very important that you as owner or the HR should mark it as inactive. Right, let's change the name of this as well, BTN inactive. That is it. So we have created the form. Well, we need to change icon, we'll do it later. Form view, and there you go. This is how you create form. It should be simple, it should be functional, should be easy, should look pleasing to the eyes. And this is, according to me, simple, functional, easy, pleasing to the eyes. I hope you like this video. I hope you agree with me. Even if you're not, please do let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. If you like this video, smash the like button, share it with others too. And this is it. I will create some forms as offline, and some forms I'll demonstrate to you as I mentioned during the video. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.